So an example of applying this formula, another one. We've done one in the teaching part. Let's just try an example. Let's do one. So I can expand this out into this. 2, 1, 1 minus 2 times x and y. As we saw, that's quite perfectly correct to do. And that gives me, so I've got 2b1 and another 2b1 matrix. And I can use this formula to solve it, to find out what x is. So this is my A, this is my x, this is my b. So if I multiply, if I find the inverse of that, multiply it by b, I get this from that formula that we showed in the previous video. So let's see, let's have a look. Okay. So let's start with finding the determinant of A first. So the determinant of A is 2 times minus 2 minus 1 times 1, which gives me, so minus minus 4 minus 1, so minus 5. So that's my determinant. So if I go and do my, so 1 over minus 5, invert, the rest of it is to swap these two around, which in this case is just a case of swapping the signs, in this particular example. And then these two terms, we change the signs to the opposite sign, so plus 1s become minus 1. So we've swapped them two round. Okay, swap places. These, we haven't swapped the places. I know this is maybe not as straightforward because the numbers are the same, but in this case, we just have to go with it. We've swapped the signs. These we swapped the positions, so minus 2 was swapped position with plus 2. In this case, we've left the numbers in the same place, we just swapped the signs. Hopefully that's not too confusing in this particular one, but watch the last video and that'll explain that better maybe. Okay, times b, and this is b, so 9 minus 8. And that will give me x. So as I said before, and this is a better example for this, because last time we had minus 1. Leave this separate, multiply this by this, the matrix style, and then do that last. So that's going to give me 1 over minus 5 times, so let's have a look. So minus 2 times 9. Okay. Plus minus 1 times minus 8. Minus sign's awful. Okay. And so that's done that. Then we do it with this one. So minus 1 times 9 plus 2 times minus 8. Okay. That'll give me 1 over minus 5. Let's see. So minus 2 times 9 is minus 18 plus 8. So it should be 10. I'm just going to check my notes, make sure I don't go wrong. So it's minus 10. That's minus 18. And then we've got that's minus 9 minus 16. Okay, minus 9 minus 16 should be minus 25. Yep, looking good. Okay, and at this stage I can multiply the scalar that this is into it, and that will give me, so that'll be 2, they're both going to be positive numbers, and 5. 5 and 25 is 5. Okay, they're both positive. So that means that therefore x equals 2, y equals 5. Looking good. Right, so there's only one thing left to do, and that's to test my results. I'm going to do it in a different colour. So this time we put in, so we've got 2 times 2 is 4, and plus 5 equals 9, so yes. And this one is 2 minus 10 equals minus 8. Yep. Success. Okay, brilliant. So let's have a look at another example now. So in this example, we've used I1 and I2. Instead of X and Y, it's I1 and I2, so it's currents in a circuit. So this is a more realistic, real-world type example where we've got a situation where we've done, using Kirchhoff's current and voltage law, we've gone around a loop and we've worked out that we've got I1 and I2 to find. Classic use in electronic engineering of the use of simultaneous equations. Quite often you've usually got more currents than this, and this is where the examples that we'll be doing later, where you've got more variables, where this is where it really comes into its own, because it really does make hard work easy. Anyway, let's take this as an example. So this I can obviously expand out like we've been doing. So I've got 5 minus 3 minus 3 and 4. Okay, times I1, I2 will give me my B term, my 3 and my 2, minus 2. Okay, so that's going to follow that formula other way around, obviously. Well, this is B, this is my A, which we're going to find the inverse of, and this is my X that we don't know yet. So let's start by finding the determinant of A first. So that's going to be 5 times 4 minus 3 times minus 3. Okay, so that's going to be 20 minus a plus. So that'll be plus 9. So minus a plus. So it's going to be 11. Okay, so about me working this out. So therefore, X is going to be, we're going to find X from the inverse of A. So that's 1 over 11. Okay, because the inverse is the determinant times these numbers swapped around, where we swap them to. So 4 and 5. And then these two, which happen to be the same this time, we just swap the signs, so the signs become positive. Let's make that better 3 than that. Okay, so they both become positive 3s. So we've swapped them two around. These two, they stay in the same place, though they're the same number, so it don't count this time, and we just change the signs. Okay. Multiply that by our B term, as per that, which is 3 and 2 minus 2, and that will give me 1 over 11 times, so 4 times 3 plus 3 times minus 2. A bit small, let's just make that a little bit bigger. 3 times minus 2. And then, so we go along and down, and then we go along and down again. Be careful not to try and going up, which is a common mistake. You go down still. So 3 times 3 plus 5 times minus 2. Okay, which then gives me 1 over 11 of, let's have a look, we've got 3 fours is 12, and then minus 6, so I'm going to get 6. Okay, and then I've got 3 times 3 is 9, minus 10, so I'm going to get minus 1. Okay, if I multiply it in my this determinant part, I get 6 elevenths and minus 1 over 11. Just double check myself that I'm going okay. Yeah, cool. So what that's saying is that x equals 6 elevenths and y equals minus 1 elevenths. Okay, so the test is obviously not going to be as easy this time, but let's have a go. Fingers crossed. So let's have a look at the first one. I'll do it down here. 5 times, so 6 elevenths, and then it's minus 3 times minus 1 elevenths. So that's going to make that positive. So it's 3 elevenths. Let's move it along. That's 30 elevenths plus, because that's a minus 3 elevenths, which is 33 elevenths, which is 3. Whew. Yes, result. Okay, this one, minus 3 times 6 elevenths, pen's running out on me. Guys, run out, just about, we'll get there. 3 times 6 elevenths, try and go in a straight line, plus 4 times minus 1 over 11 gives me, so that's 18 elevenths, minus 18 elevenths, a minus, so that becomes a minus 4 elevenths. Should be 11, which is minus 14 minus 4 is 22, minus 22 elevenths, which is obviously minus 2. Yes, success. You always need to test your answers. Usually one's enough to get you there, but just for sake of completion we did both. Okay, so I think that was successful.